Tom here. Today we're walking the northern half of Verona Park, part of the Essex County Park System in New Jersey. Verona is a township in Essex County in northern New Jersey. We're located about 18 driving miles from Midtown Manhattan, or about 15 miles as the crow flies. According to the 2020 U.S. Census, the township's population was 14,572. In the year 1702, a group of settlers left Newark and purchased a large tract of land northwest of their home city from the Lenape Indians. In 1840, the Peckman River was dammed by a local doctor to power a grist mill, creating Verona Lake. We'll get a good look at the lake and the dam towards the end of this video. Planning for its use as a park began in 1920 with land acquisition. Part of the land was owned by the Erie Railroad Company, so an agreement was made to allow the railroad to retain a right-of-way across the park by means of a bridge. The bridge was never built, but the large island in the middle of the northern part of the lake was intended to support the bridge. I'll point that out later on when we can see it. The township of Verona was incorporated in the year 1907. The town had been named Vernon, but when they went to incorporate, there already was a town named Vernon in New Jersey, so we were incorporated as the township of Verona. The walking path around the park is 1.3 miles, but today we're only walking the northern half, taking the stone bridge as a cutoff. The landscape plans were prepared by the Olmsted brothers, who also designed Central Park in New York City and many other parks. The stone bridge is very popular with wedding photographers, and on summer weekends, wedding parties wait their turn to pose on the bridge. If you like learning about Verona, New Jersey, and the surrounding areas, please subscribe. I have about 100 videos from 2002 to 2010 that only ran on Verona cable TV, and I publish one every Thursday. We're currently running a series of interviews that I recorded for Verona's 100th anniversary in 2007. This bridge is over a feeder into the Peckman River, and as we come across it, on our left, there's a very large playground that was just recently renovated. And beyond that, there's a children's garden called Eden West, and that is supported by the Verona Park Conservancy in cooperation with the Essex County Park System. And it's a very nice, calm place for contemplation. And beyond that, we may not be able to see it, are the tennis courts. It had rained, so the geese are just getting a little drink along the puddles. Hello. On the right side of the screen is the park. Later on, we'll get to look at the dam. As we continue walking down the park, technically the road into the park is called Porcello Lane. And over there is the lake. There's some more geese. There's always a lot of geese in Verona Park. And we get to see the lake. Also, we had talked about the island that the railroad used with the intention of building a bridge across the entire park, which fortunately was never built for the railroad. That island was visible across the lake as we looked. The county does stock Verona Lake with trout, and I think in the next week or two there's the annual fishing contest sponsored by the County of Essex. But the kids have a great time with that. The swan boats, which are paddle boats, are available. Hello. Because it's late enough in the year for them to be open for the summer. On the right, we see the fountain. It's in the middle of the lake. I don't know if it's done to aerate the lake or just because it looks pretty. Maybe it does both. You can see the boathouse in the middle of the screen. The boathouse also houses a senior community center for Essex County. I haven't been there, but being as I'm 68 years old, I guess I should check it out. The boathouse also has a small food concession. Yeah, it's the boathouse is very picturesque. So you kind of see the same photographs taken over and over again of the boathouse, of the stone bridge, that kind of stuff. It's a great park. Um, when we first moved here in 1997, it was a bit run down, but they've really done good work with it. It's now a very pleasant place. Verona Park is also the nexus for a lot of like public fundraising events, like the Valerie Fund and Light the Night, and Spectrum 360 has an event. So usually these events will like have a 1 mile run, fun run, maybe a 5K race, and a big event held in the park. This weekend coming up is the annual Rose Art Show. So these are craft vendors and stuff. They come here, um, take over a large section of the park. They also go to a lot of parks in the area, including Brookdale, Anderson. Um, then, okay, this is the back end of the boathouse. And in the left side of that screen is where the senior center is, that portion of it. So I'll check it out. Maybe I'll make a video about that. As we round the corner, we're getting closer to the stone bridge. It's fascinating to watch the limousines pull up and the bridal parties get out and have their pictures taken. It's quite a sight to behold. Um, and we see that the on this side, the stone bridge comes down to two stairways that kind of splay out left and right. Even today, people are having their pictures taken on the stone bridge. Again, the Olmsted brothers, the Olmsted family, where they have literally 400 or 500 parks in the U.S. in which they designed, and this was part of it. So when I first moved to Verona, I thought it was really cool that the Olmsteds designed our park, but really at the time they were dominant in designing local parks and big parks. Okay, we're kind of moving around on the other side of the lake, so we get to see the boathouse from the other shore. Yeah, big open field. When we first moved to the area, that was a baseball field. But right now they only have tennis courts. That's about the only sports they officially sanction for the park. Now, when we come to this intersection, we've basically joined the larger oval, and we're going to make a right and continue our second half of the journey on the northern part of the loop. For those who are interested, the Peckman River flows north into Passaic. I think it eventually joins the Passaic River. It flows through Cedar Grove, Little Falls, all that kind of stuff. It starts, from my perspective, in West Orange and enters the south end of the park through a golf course that's in West Orange and flows into this lake. And the reason why there is a lake is because the dam was created in the early 1900s to power the grist mill. We're going to see the dam as we go further on, continuing our walk. The Verona Park Conservancy has been very instrumental in upgrading the quality of the park, so that they do a lot of the horticulture. I think on our left we may not see it. There's a kind of wildflower garden that they built up. It's kind of like elevated with a retaining wall and it's maintained by them. So as you walk around this path at various times, you see fishermen kind of nestled in there, depending on the season. Another look at the boathouse. trying to be discreet when I video people so as to not to stick my camera in their face. Over on the left, I may not show it, but on that left, there's that retaining wall in the flower garden that's built up on it. There's a bit of a hill to the left. Um, so all along Pleasant Valley Way. So you'll see a lot of the exits on the park on the left are kind of like trails that go up to the hill. I think there was a sign for the trout event, the fishing event in a few weeks. They also have exercise workstations kind of scattered throughout the park, maybe 4 or 5 in all. Maybe I'll check them out. I've never really given much thought to them, but these are typically um, circular areas that are paved within a grassy area. They might be like 20 feet in diameter, 25 feet in diameter, and they have a station to perform an exercise. So I'd like to check that out. They also have dog pooping bags on stations where you can just walk up to a pole and grab a blue bag to put your dog poop in. We want to be good neighbors, so it's nice that they provide that. Looking across to the other end of the lake, the other side of the lake where we kind of started our walk. We're at like three quarters of our little walk right now. So there's a little trail off to the left that we go up to Pleasant Valley Way, and that's important because that's a lot of the street parking is on Pleasant Valley Way. You got a good half a mile of uninterrupted curb where people can park, while heading all the way to the south end of Verona into West Orange. Okay, up at the top of that screen is that island that they built. Now on the right-hand side of the screen, the island that the railroad company built with the intention of putting a trestle across the entire park from Pleasant Valley Way all the way to the Porcello Lane and to the areas west. I mean, we have had railroads in town throughout our history, but that would have been well, I'm just glad they didn't have to do it. If they had, it probably wouldn't have been long before the railroads kind of died anyway. We do have a trolley that it historically ran through Verona from Bloomfield into the Caldwells. Um, and it had, at some point, maybe 20 years ago, you could see places where the trolley tracks were still there. A couple of things. One is that the 29 bus still follows the route of that trolley. And the only fatality of a Verona police officer was when, a long time ago, a motorcycle officer got his wheels stuck in the trolley tracks and was killed by the resulting accident. We're looking at a bridge now to the island, got a view of the island. On the left-hand side, we can see the dam coming up. Let's circle around, see the dam. So anyway, after the dam, the water flows in the Peckman River flows north, which is kind of unusual for this part of New Jersey. Usually things flow south to the ocean, but the Peckman River actually flows north, joining the Passaic Valley, Passaic River areas and kind of joining into that. Looking over the top of that, you see the dam and how much water, how much elevation was maintained by raising the dam to make the lake. I'm going to go around there. In this area, there used to be a tree when my kids were growing up called the Furby tree. It was just a weird tree with a lot of horizontal branches, and the kids loved climbing on it. The Furby tree finally died about 10 years ago, but I still call it the Furby tree. That's what the kids called it. And the tree's no longer there. I still think about it. That's the dam. So I suppose without that, it would just be a swamp and a river running through this area. Flows down. So that's looking north. Sorry for my fingers. That's looking north. It's going to go underneath Bloomfield Avenue. It's going to go into Cedar Grove, and I think Little Falls or that neck of the woods go up into Passaic. So that's the Peckman River, even though it just looks like a canal. That's the Peckman River. If we had taken the left fork, we'd go back up to Bloomfield Avenue. That's another nice view of the dam. And we're about to kind of join where we started this. We have 30 seconds left in the walk, according to my tape counter. We hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe at Verona Living, the Verona Living channel. Thank you so much for watching. And I encourage you to get out to the park if you're in the area. It's a lovely place just to sit, to read, to fish, to walk. It's I don't want to overstate it, but it's the gem of Essex County, and we're very proud of it in the township of Verona. Have a good day and take care.